What's up, everybody? This is your Cosmic Homegirl, and I'm just doing a quick voiceover video to tell you guys about the energy of Valentine's Day, the energy that's in the air on that day, rather, as seen through the lens of astrology. So, what's it going to be like? What's the vibe on Valentine's Day? So, we're going to take a look at that. It's not an individual reading for each and every sign. It is just overall in general for everybody what it's going to be like. But before I mention that, speaking of Valentine's Day, I do have some specials through Valentine's Day on my website, which you see here, indigomoonastrology.com, on love readings. So I have relationship readings, which are synastry readings in astrology. They are on sale through February 14th. So that's me taking a look at you individually and then taking a look at your boo individually, and then you guys together. And then I give a horoscope for both of you guys and each person to see what potential transits are affecting you guys that can affect the relationship. It is from 60 to 90 minutes long, so I really go in depth on that one. So that one is like $50 off. Then I have the love and romance reading for individuals if you want to see who you attract and why you keep having certain people come in and out of your life and who's your ideal partner based on your chart, and also a horoscope to let you know when you will likely find love coming up soon. So that is the love and romance reading that is also discounted. And I also have this other reading that I'm testing out, and I'm only offering it for Valentine's Day right now. So if you go to my specials page here, it is the Dangerously in Love reading. Okay. So, and it even says, who do you have the most karmic, intense relationships with? It even points out like those quote unquote soulmate points in a chart. Where are they in yours? I can take a look at that. Also, possibly addictive relationships and maybe even some toxic ones, who you should kind of stay away from. But if you really like intensity, who gives you that feeling, so I take a look at that in this reading. It's only $35 and it's only through February 14th. So check them out on my website, you guys. Okay, so now that the shameless plug has been done, let's look at the energy of Valentine's Day. What is it going to be like for everybody? So first of all, we want to look at the mood, the overall mood. So we will be mostly looking at the moon, Mars, and Venus and what they are doing. So let's look at the moon. The moon will be in Gemini. The moon does rule our moods. It can show that when it's in Gemini, there is an air of lightheartedness. But first, before I get into that, let me just say some things may sound contradicting because look at all these planets are in all these different signs. This happens every day, all day, to where we have all these different energies popping off at once. So there's not just one flat overall mood for Valentine's Day. There's a mixture of things going on. We've got air energy, the sun and moon in air. We've got a stellium of planets in earth. And then we've got a stellium of things happening in Pisces, in water. And then we've got, so we've got a variety of things. But so there's a mixture of lighthearted as well as some seriousness in the air. So let's look at that. So we've got the moon in Gemini. So the mood is going to be, hey, let's have some great conversation. There's going to be a big focus on conversation, how well it's going to be going. Are you able to keep my mind stimulated? Are you able to keep the conversation going and flowing from one thing to the next without it being so boring or stagnant or like slow? It's quick moving mental activity is Gemini. So the mood is going to be like, hey, let's just have some fun. And then the moon is opposing Jupiter. Now Jupiter is a very positive planet. Yes, it's happy-go-lucky type of energy. The moon is looking at Jupiter. Jupiter can show grand things like grand dreams and aspirations and wanting everything to work out and go right. So moon is a mind planet. And I know the moon is not a planet, but this is astrology. That's the lingo. Okay, just get down with it. All right. So Moon is our minds looking at Jupiter, which is high expectations. So I think people are going to have high expectations on Valentine's Day. They're going to want the date to go a certain way. They're going to plan it out, especially with Venus, Saturn, Pluto all together in Capricorn. Mars enters Taurus early in the morning, and this is a sign of slow but steady wins the race. Let's plan things out. Let's take it slow, okay? So people are going to plan things a certain way, and they're going to have high expectations with this here. But there is some changeability that's in the air that can make things not always go as planned. Because look, we have Mars and Uranus still in a conjunction with one another. Mars is action. It's going after things and movement. And then Uranus is very unstable energy. Mars is male energy, masculine energy. And with Uranus, this is unpredictability. So I feel like masculine people are going to be a little unpredictable, or very Mars ruled people like Scorpio or Aries, feeling antsy and anxious, and like they may just want to switch things up. And then we also have Mercury, which is communication, in Pisces, conjunct Neptune, which is dreams and fantasy and uncertainty, but you just are cool with the uncertainty. So they're in a conjunction with one another. So this is like, communication could be a little foggy and wishy-washy. You make some plans, but then it's like, oh, I thought you said we're gonna meet at 7:30, but I just read your text again and it's really 6:30. My bad that I'm an hour late. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that has the potential to happen. How to avoid that though is just by realizing this is why I'm doing this, to be forewarned is to be forearmed, and to really like set alerts, set alarms, set reminders for yourself to keep yourself awake and aware, because Pisces is an energy that rules sleep. So when we have another planet that rules the mind in a conjunction with the planet that rules sleep and dreams and not fully paying attention, there's a potential for some like, oh, I forgot, and then there's high expectations with the moon and Jupiter opposition here that are making people want to like have things just go like they have a grand plan and a grand scheme, but it's just like there's things that could easily get messed up, to be honest. So just fully be aware and pay attention. And then it's like, oh, here is the action, and it's actions that can suddenly have to change for some reason. Okay. Now Venus, what's Venus doing? Venus is important to look at because she is the goddess of love. She does rule what we enjoy, and individually and also within the company of other people. She's feminine energy. So feminine energy, feminine ruled, Venus ruled people, which is Libra and Taurus especially, or just feminine beings who tap into Venus very, very strongly, are going to be feeling very Capricorn-esque, especially because she is in a conjunction with Saturn in Capricorn. The rules Capricorn, there's like so much Cappy in the air when it comes to Miss Venus here. And that means, let me tell you guys, chivalry is going to be, this is another like high expectations type of an aspect. People are going to expect, hey, you better open doors for me. You better pull out my chair. You better be bringing me flowers and candy, and you better be paying for an expensive meal, and you better pay for everything if you are a masculine being. A lot of that expectation will be in the air, okay? And talks about 5-year plans. It talks about business at dinner. People are going to be having an eye on each other like, are you somebody that can really work out for me in the long term? Although, granted, there is some lightheartedness in the air. Gemini just wants to keep things moving, likes good conversation, and doesn't want things to go too deeply all the time. Is cool with the surface level. But when it comes to like feelings on the date, some people may be like, I don't know. I'm looking at whether or not you're somebody that is good for me in the long run, or at least not just only for tonight. Like, are you really investing in me, and should I invest in you too? So that's what this energy can bring about. It can bring an air of seriousness. And as far as like going out and enjoying things on dates, of course, a lot of things depend upon what lands where in your personal natal chart based on your rising sign. But I feel like a lot of people are going to be wanting a little bit more of the fancy. They're going to want some fun, some lighthearted conversation, maybe a little escapism and stuff like that. But they're going to want something that is of good quality. If you give material things, which Venus rules, gifts of any sort, make sure they're of good quality, not cheapo, because this right here, it does not play. Trust me, I have several Cappy women very close to me in my life, and they talk all the time about this exact thing. Oh, he gave me this, but it was cheap. This is not a gold digger saying that this is gold digger energy. Some people may tap into it that way, but for some people, it's just like quality. Like, did you just, how some people, I don't know where all you guys that are listening live, but where I live on the west coast of the US, there are people that they make these little Valentine's baskets that are kind of a cheap quality, and they sell them on the side of the road on Valentine's Day, working hard. They'll be out there like until midnight for those people trying to grab those last second gifts, like, oh my God, I forgot to buy him a gift, so you just pull over, you grab one of those things, and then go, here. Oh, I made it, and I just grabbed you something. That's not gonna fly on Valentine's Day with this here. Mm-mm. And then we have also Mars is in an Earth sign too, and Earth signs are about quality over quantity. Okay, taking your time to do something, to give something. That's very meaningful. So, Mars being here and Venus, and these are both love planets, make sure that things are not cheap. They're not fly by night. They're not flimsy. You're not being flimsy or cheap or flighty. Make sure that none of that is going on. And I'm not saying everybody has to be bougie and spend up all their money and people have to be stuck up and be like, oh my God, what is this? Don't go too far with things, of course, to where you're disrespectful and you are unappreciative. But I'm saying meet somewhere in the middle with lighthearted and fun, yet good quality. This is quality time too. Now remember, I said Mars is in a Earth sign, but still that conjunction to Uranus, though. It's like anything goes, anything can happen, plans can change. So just be flexible and adaptable on Valentine's Day, everybody. If because things can just suddenly flip, you know what I mean? As far as like if you make reservations, it's like, oh, we had to cancel, sir or ma'am, because something caught on fire in the kitchen, or you know what I'm saying? Like anything can happen. And then Gemini, the moon in Gemini, that is flexibility and adaptability to any situation. The wind blew in another way, so I mean, that's what we got to do, is just go in that direction and go with the flow. So I think the moon and Mercury being immutable, go with the flow signs, adaptability and flexibility is possible if things just suddenly flip and change. So, what else about this day? Well, as far as activities, like I said, quality. People are expecting quality with Earth sign energy. But going to maybe see a movie, I know people classically do the dinner and a movie thing, right? But that could work out because Mars is in Taurus. Taurus is a sign that rules food. You know what I'm saying? And then we've got Mercury and Neptune together in Pisces. This is like your vision is very creative. It's very fantasy driven. It wants to just kind of lose touch with reality. So yeah, the whole movie thing, going to see dinner and a movie, I mean, that can work out. But maybe do try and have multiple things going on in one evening if you can, because Gemini is about multiplicity and variety and just like, oh, let's go here, let's go there, let's do this, let's do that. And then we've got the sun still hanging out in Aquarius, which is very eccentric and different. I mean, the sun is in Aquarius every year on Valentine's Day, so it's like whatever. The other planets are a little bit more important to look at. So overall, what can I say about Valentine's Day and the energy of it? There's a mixture of things going on, like I said. So for all the signs, just be open to change, adapt to change. If you make plans, be aware that they can just suddenly flip. And quality over quantity. Don't be cheap. Okay, be thoughtful. At least if you're going to not, if you're going to have to be cheap as far as like how much you spend, at least be thoughtful with whatever you give to people materially. And don't have too high of expectations that prevent you from having fun. You know what I'm saying? This is like, this energy right here could be a little stuffy, a little stiff at times, to be honest. It's very serious, mature, grounded energy. But don't be too having too high of expectations where it's just like, you think everything and everyone is just trash and you don't enjoy yourself at all. Okay. And this is another, once again, high expectation aspect with the moon and Jupiter. Don't think things are going to go your way exactly, and expect too much good stuff either. It's just remain neutral and balanced. Enjoy yourself, have a good time, have some good conversation, converse about, spirituality, music, anything that helps you to escape. Don't drink and drive, you guys, because Mercury conjunct Neptune can cause a lot of confusion when it comes to your vision and your sense of direction with driving. Okay. So just be very cautious with that. Call an Uber or a Lyft or a cab or something, or DD. I don't know. Work out something, because collectively this is a potentially dangerous transit, for people just kind of swerving, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's it for what I have to say about Valentine's Day, the energy of it overall. And of course, if you would like for me to look at your personal chart for any reason at all, go to my website, which is indigomoonastrology.com. Here it is once again. I have specials on Valentine's Day. In order to find that, you just go to my services page. You can go to the specials page right here. You can also find a couple of my readings on the rates of services, or click here and it'll take you there too. All right. So peace out, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day, or Valentine, as some people say. And be safe out there. And I'll see you guys in my next video. All right. Peace.